Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars and some of my favourite people, and we've got one for you today. Beau Dermott has got a brand new CD out. She's only 13, signed a new whopping great big record deal, and she's here with us today in Nottingham. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Well, I'm not as good as you. Let's face it, to be born beautiful and talented is the golden ticket, really, isn't it?
I don't really know.
Were you born singing? I mean, there we saw you on Britain's Got Talent, and it was an amazing gift you've got. I guess you can't be trained that.
Well, I loved every second of Britain's Got Talent, and I just love performing and singing, so as long as I'm doing what I love, I'm really happy.
And what an impact you made. I mean, let's face it, the point of those shows is that you're instantly forgotten, and you haven't been. Why do you think people remembered you more than most?
I don't really know, it's just... I just sung because I really, really love it, and I feel like if I sing and if I can make people happy, then I've achieved something.
And then we look at the choice of song. I mean, you did a genius move by picking that song from Wicked. Defying Gravity, is enormous. I mean, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you nailed it. It's a great way of fitting your type of audience, because young girls love that song, don't they?
Oh, I love Defying Gravity, and I love Wicked, because I've seen it 9 times already. Yeah, and I just love it so much. It's such a magical musical, and it's just amazing.
Have you seen it on tour or in the West End? Who's your favourite? Because there's the Elphaba and there's Glinda, isn't there? You're normally in love with those.
I love Elphaba because she's my dream role and she sings Defying Gravity.
It's amazing. I mean, do you think one day that's sort of your target? Because that show's going nowhere. It's still selling out. It's going on tour again next year. To do that big thing at the end of the first half must be amazing.
Oh, yeah, I'd absolutely love to play Elphaba because it's like my absolute dream role, and she's just an amazing character.
It's also an inspiring story, isn't it? Because it's about girls who are trying to find themselves, and being different isn't always a bad thing. Actually, it makes you unique.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely has a really important message, and most people can relate to Elphaba. She's not all that bad. She may turn bad, but that's just because people didn't believe in her.
Right. Let's look at you. So 13 years old. What do 13-year-olds do, by the way, now? I mean, I'm an old guy. I know nothing about it. What's your life like?
Well, I'm just a normal kid, really. I just do anything a normal kid would. I walk my dogs, I go to school, I do all my academics, I ride horses, I just do anything a normal kid does. But then in the background, I love to sing. So I just do everything singing and performing.
Did you always love to sing?
Oh, always, because when I was about 3 years old, I used to watch The Sound of Music instead of all the cartoons. I used to sit on the carpet and just to have The Sound of Music on replay, and I'd used to sit there just being mesmerised by Julie Andrews' voice.
Let's go back to the moment that made you a star, which was Britain's Got Talent. How do you keep your nerve? I think what's most amazing about the kids that go on that show is that you're in front of 10 million people and you make it look like you're performing to your mum and dad in the back bedroom.
Well, backstage I'm like this nervous wreck, shaking like a leaf and everything, and then when I get on stage and the music comes on, I'm not me anymore. I'm this different person who's confident in herself. But then backstage I'm like, I can't do this. But then when I'm on stage I'm like, yeah, I can do this.
They talk about the bubble of that show and how you're sort of protected from yourself. Do you just look at the audience in front of you and forget that there's millions of people watching at home? How did you deal with it?
Well, I like to get in the character of the song. So, for example, when I sing Defying Gravity, I like to get into the character of Elphaba. So when I'm singing it, I'm basically Elphaba and I'm feeling what she's feeling, and I'm just trying to get into her role and trying to feel what she'll be feeling when she's singing the song.
And then the reaction afterwards. The problem with today, which is a blessing and a curse, is if they like you, they'll love you immediately, but if they hate you, they're going to tell you. You had an amazing reaction. How quick did you feel that? Because with Twitter, you know instantly whether they like or hate you.
Well, I'm just really thankful for all the people that have supported me throughout my journey, and I just feel so privileged to have been supported, to have been supported on that show, and to still be supported now, which is really cool.
When you're stood on stage with these great people who are twice, 3 times your age, do you pinch yourself? Because it must mean you're as good as them or you wouldn't be there.
Well, I just love working with people. I just love being there. I love singing. So as long as I'm singing and performing, then I'll be thrilled with it.
And of course, Amanda's been a great bastion of yours, and she's celebrated you and promoted you and continues to endorse you, which is lovely. What's she like in real life?
Oh, she's so lovely. She's so down to earth. She's just such a lovely person inside and out. And on the telly, she's like she is in real life. She's just amazing.
And I guess she can see where you're coming from, because she's had the same struggle of finding yourself in the public eye and then coping with the voice and then performing. You've got a lot in common, really.
I really love Amanda. She's just amazing. Like, she's been in musical theatre. She understands the dream of musical theatre. She understands the voice and everything. So I'm just privileged that I've got to work with her.
And then, of course, the show ends and you get through right to the end, and you did so well. And then you've got to form a career out of it. Immediately after, what happened? Because I know you did all the TV shows and all that kind of stuff. Did you like that? Who did you get to meet?
I met Lorraine, and she's absolutely amazing. She's just brilliant. And I've met the Phil and Holly on Good Morning Britain, and they're also amazing. And I'm just thankful for all the people that I've met, because they're all so lovely.
And then we move a year forward, and here you are with this record deal. Amazing. I've only heard 4 tracks from it. And the first thing that struck me was it sounds like you've spent an awful lot of money on it, because it's a beautiful orchestration, and it sounds like a big band. Tell us about the orchestra firstly.
The orchestra are just wow. They were a 35-piece orchestra, and I was lucky enough to watch them do their magic. And you just put the dots in front of them and they'll do it, and just like perfection. And it's just mind-blowing. They're just absolutely phenomenal.
Can you remember the first time you sang and somebody reacted differently than the first time I sang? Because when I sang, they told me to shut up and go back upstairs and mind my own business. What was the difference with you? When did you realise that you'd got this gift?
One day I just was singing along to Julie Andrews, and then my mum and dad heard me sing, and they decided to get me some singing lessons. So then this love and passion just grew for singing. So
it's not really your talent, it's more their talent for noticing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's give them the credit. And then the type of music you sing is so interesting. I mean, you could have gone with pop, you could have gone with rap, you could have gone with anything. You chose classical, which has defined you, certainly through that show, as well as musical theatre. Why were these songs so important to you?
Well, I feel that the musical theatre and classical songs, you can get into like a character, and you can escape into your own little world and just sing and just really be yourself in it, like put your own little stamp on the songs. And then it's just, I feel like whenever I sing those type of songs, that I can just go into this zone of, right, I'm on the stage and I'm going to sing, and I'm just going to try my best and get into this character, because I'm not me anymore.
It's amazing. So do you think in the future, you're only 13 now, acting is probably going to lead the path, which will probably land you in the West End, won't it?
Oh, I'd absolutely love to be in the West End, and I'd also love to make more albums, because every time I record, I feel like I learn something, because when I sing, I normally tell the story with my hands, but in recording, because you couldn't like see the people and the people couldn't see you, you needed to like put the emotion into your voice, which I felt that I've learned something whilst doing that, which I feel is improving me as a musician.
And your voice has never sounded better. I think it has changed in the last year. Can you hear it developing too? I mean, you sound, if you shut your eyes, like a 25-year-old girl singing. It's amazing. I think I'm not the first to say that you have this incredible gift that you sound far older than you are. Is that training, or is that just you, and is that just getting a bit older?
Well, I obviously have my singing lessons, and I do my vocal warm-ups every day, and I just try my best to look after my voice, and then I just want it to get it to the best ability that it can, and I want it to be healthy, and I just want to nurture it and make sure it's healthy.
Are you one of these people that never speaks before about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, has to gargle with glycerine? How seriously do you take it?
Well, I try my best to look after my voice as much as I can, because I don't want to ruin it, because I feel like I have a responsibility to make people happy with my voice. So I always steam before I go to bed, and then I drink this drink with hot water and honey, which is basically for the throat, and then I just go and voice rest a lot, which is good at school.
And voice rest, does that mean silence? Absolute silence?
Absolute silence. Like, you cannot speak a word.
Wow. Is that annoying? I mean, that must get you down a bit if all your friends are having fun and you're having to sit there in the corner looking bored.
Well, my mum says it quiets down the house.
I'm sure.
So
well, less of a pain if you're silent. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You got brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I've got an older brother. He's 22.
What does he think of you?
He's so supportive. Like, he's like the best big brother ever. I really like it.
And he's looking out for you.
I just love my family and my friends because they're all so supportive, and they don't treat me any differently than they did when I didn't go on the show. I'm still that normal kid. I'm just still that ordinary girl who just loves to sing.
I've had a few divas on over the years. I mean, you're not one of these that tells your friends you can only come in my house if I'm always right. You can't be like that.
No, at my house, I just say, right, you can do what you want to do and I'll just follow you.
And mum's still mum, she puts you in your place and you get told off.
Well, yeah, sometimes.
Let's look at the album before we go. I've only heard 4 of them and they're all beautiful and perfect. And what you've cleverly done is taken different genres. You've gone back to some from the 80s, you've gone to musical theatre, a bit of classical. Oh Holy Night is the last track on there, which is perfect. This is going to be wonderful. Where we want to see you live, though, is on a stage doing these songs in a show. Is that the big plan, to take this album live?
Well, I've got a concert on the 12th of October, which is in aid of cancer research, and I'm going to be singing all of my songs on the album from there. And, well, I've basically picked the charity cancer research because recently my dad was diagnosed with cancer, so as a family we needed to be strong, and then we now know that they need a lot of money to go through these treatments and make people better.
How did that change the household when you found out this news? Because in a perfect world where you're a young girl, 13, taking the world by storm with your music, and then this comes along, that must have really affected you.
Yeah, he got diagnosed just before the live semi-final of Britain's Got Talent. So they didn't tell me. They told me like a couple of weeks after when it was all finished. And then, well, my dad sort of just came and watched me perform, and that sort of made him keep going, so I tried to perform as much as I could for him and sing.
And how's he doing now?
He's doing really well now, yeah, and I think, fingers crossed, he might be over it now, I hope.
Yeah, and I guess that's life, isn't it? With every up there's a down, and isn't it extraordinary that could happen at the same time? The best moment of your life on Britain's Got Talent, and then this comes along and you dealt with it and you're still smiling, and that's inspiring.
Thank you, yeah, I just try and keep happy and stay positive about things.
And I guess if anything's going to drive him to get better, it's seeing you being successful, isn't it?
I hope so. Like, as long as everybody's happy, then I'm happy too.
And then we've got the show for the cancer research people, and then at Christmas you're doing another show, aren't you, with Jono and Joan? Exciting times ahead.
Very exciting, yeah, I can't wait.
Track listing wise, which is your favourite song? Is it still Defying Gravity?
Ooh, yeah, I love Defying Gravity. I love all the songs on the album, but my favourite is Defying Gravity, Brave, and Fight Song.
Yeah, Fight Song's wonderful, and it just, again, you do pick tough songs. You don't make life easy for yourself. How nervous are you at the beginning you're going to make it to the end?
I just get into like this zone of, well, I'm Elphaba now and Elphaba's singing this song, and then I'm just going to try my best to fulfill it.
So you're totally fearless. You don't worry about the enormity of a song.
I do. Backstage, I'm like, what if I don't get the note? What if I just get halfway through the song and forget the words? I'm just like panicking backstage, and then I walk on and just try and calm myself down and just think, right, okay, just if you forget the words, just make it up. And then just like, I never forgot the words because I love that song so much, and I've seen it 9 times, so I think I know every word to the song. So I just try and calm myself and just sing.
Do you love the process of learning and getting a new song and learning the words and the technique and getting the phrasing right and all of that?
Oh yeah, I love learning new songs, and I love just learning everything about music, really, because I feel like the more that I learn about music, the more that I can be a better musician.
I can't think of anything more exciting than to be 13 and as talented as you are with this in front of you. Good luck with this new album. It's available now. You can get it for $9.99 on Amazon and in shops as well. She's the £1 million voice, Beau Dermott. It's called Brave, and it's a stunning album. Congratulations on everything. It was lovely meeting you.
You too. Thank you so much for having us.